I'm here with actress Camren Bicondova, who plays Selina on Fox's Gotham. Thank you for taking time to sit down with me.
Yeah, thank you.
So, I know you began performing actually as a dancer, and at a young age. You were 6, right, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, 5 or 6, yep.
And you went on to perform at 11?
I did.
Well,
So the reason why I was put into dance was because my parents needed a place for me to go to while they were at the gym, because I hated the playground that they had at the gym for the kids, and so they put me in dance. And I hated hip-hop, and I loved ballet, and then turns out I consider myself a hip-hop dancer more than a ballet dancer now. But yeah, that's how it started, and then other stuff happened.
Yeah, and then you were in a competition show, America's Best Dance Crew, right? You came in second?
Yeah. Well, before that happened, I moved to Hawaii because I'm a military brat, and so my dad was stationed in Hawaii, so we moved there, and I started training at my home dance studio, 24/7 Dance Force, and it was there that I learned that I actually wanted to work as a dancer, and I loved dance. And so then I was going back and forth between Hawaii and LA because I needed to do auditions and stuff like that. And then for ABDC, my crew was a mix between my friends that I had met through doing work and my friends from the studio. And so that's how that happened.
And what made you transition into acting? I know you actually were, you did a Battlefield America and a Sierra's music video, so.
I did, yeah.
Was that kind of your, segue a little bit into acting, or?
I guess. I was hired on Battlefield America as a dancer, and it was last minute that the director was like, "Hey, Cameron, can you say this?" And looking back at I'm looking back at it now that now that I consider myself an actor, I'm like, oh my God, I delivered that terribly, but I had never acted before. And so there was a point where work started getting slow, and I was kind of stagnant, and I was living in LA, and my dad was stationed in San Diego, going overseas every now and then, and I needed to do something, and it got to the point where it was either I find something new to do or move back to San Diego, and I didn't want to move back to San Diego. I didn't, and so I tried out acting, and I didn't, not necessarily that I didn't like it at first, but I didn't know if I liked it or not. And then once I actually learned how powerful it is and how powerful it makes you feel when you can actually use your voice to speak your mind, because I had never been able to do that before. I'm still working on it personally, but dance was my therapy because I've never been a great communicator. I've always been more of a silent communicator. And that's why dance was really great for me, because I could communicate without actually saying anything. And with acting, I learned that I could actually communicate what I was feeling. And so then I fell in love with acting and was auditioning and training for 2 years, and then I got Gotham.
That little show that no one's ever heard about, right?
Oh yeah, I don't even know how long it's been on the air, whatever.
No, so what was that like for you to land such a huge part so soon after? May not have felt soon to you because it was 2 years, but
yeah,
it's a huge role for you, and you're so young.
I was excited because those 2 years felt like forever, and a lot of people, they'll tell me how lucky I am and whatnot, and I don't like that term. I actually hate the term lucky. I prefer to say that I'm blessed, because I worked to get to where I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so those 2 years were tough. There were a lot of times where I questioned if I was doing the right thing. Was I even supposed to be acting? Because it feels like every time I do an audition, they always go with a brunette, or they go with a person who has more experience, and it was really hard knocking on every door and getting a no. And so to finally knock on a door and have it open and have an opportunity to show what I had in order to get a yes, it was really, really, felt really good, and it was really fulfilling, because I got to use my dance abilities. I got to play a really cool chick who gave no cares, and I I went in with no makeup. I went in all natural, and I got to wear what I would want to wear in my, afterlife maybe, I don't know. And it was just a dream role. It still is a dream role. So for me, it was really, really great.
What's the best part of playing Selina? I know she's kind of tough on the outside, but inside you could tell she's.
Oh.
And now you're starting to see it more with her mother being introduced. She's kind of broken.
Oh, for sure. She's very soft on the inside. She has a little tiny little stuffed teddy bear in her heart that she likes to keep hidden away, and because she does have a big heart, it's kind of guarded with heavy metal at the moment, and she's had to add those layers to her and not wear her heart on her sleeve, because every time she has worn her heart on her sleeve, she's been stabbed in it.
Right.
So she had to learn the hard way. Her way of coping with it was just hiding her heart and hiding the way she feels, and having her mom around. Ooh, nope, not working. Her heart's coming onto her sleeve again, and she's trying to figure out whether she likes that or not. And normally it doesn't work out.
I know this past week, we previously just discussed this right before we started rolling, that Selina finally acknowledged that Alfred backhanded her across the face with a little.
Yeah.
It was nice to see that addressed.
Yeah. Well, initially I didn't really see it that way. I just thought Alfred's a badass and whatnot, and so, but I do see how that makes sense.
See,
yeah.
I'm onto something. Maybe I should write for the show.
Yes.
And and now I know next week on the episode that airs 123, which is called "Smile Like You Mean," you have a pretty big role. What can you tease about that without giving too much away?
Selena finds the truth about a certain someone, and it hurts her. It's another one of those getting stabbed in the heart moments for her, and it's gonna change her, at least not forever, but at least what we would think is forever, because the one thing that Selena has taught herself is to not put herself out there to get hurt, because the moment you put yourself out there, you will get hurt. And this one time she didn't listen to her instincts, and once again, it doesn't go the way she wants to.
How challenging is it for you to bring the humanity out in Selina when she does kind of have that tough exterior? You do a beautiful job at it. So
thank you.
It looks effortless.
As far as the humanity in her, I think it's just there. I don't really have to work at it, because the writing is so good, and with all the other characters too, we've all mentioned, the writing is so good, you don't even have to do anything. You just be the character, and that's it, And what I actually love about our characters, especially the troubled ones in Gotham, is that there's this common denominator of love with all of them. They all want love. They all want to be loved. They all want to love. And the humanity that comes out with all of them, whether they're crazy or just kind of guarded, their humanity comes out when they're put in situations that involve love. And with Selina, her mom is involved in that, and so it's easy to show the humanity, because the writing shows how difficult it is to love someone or to be loved by someone who left you. And I think in that aspect, the humanity is already there.
And now, from being on such a front burner show, you've gotten a lot of fans, and I know you're very good about interacting with them on your. Do a lot
I try.
Yeah. What's that like for you to be in the spotlight and to have all these fans and be so excited to meet you and all that kind of stuff?
It's nice. I mean, I've never been one to want fame itself, because I think fame is really awful. But as far as having fans and supporters who appreciate your work, and they know you, and they love you, and they love the work that everyone who's involved in in a show like Gotham does, it's really fulfilling, because our crew works like 16-hour days, and it's really tough work to put on a show. We only have 10 days to shoot an episode. That's 45 minutes, and Gotham is the city itself is pretty intense.
Absolutely.
And so it's really exhausting, but it's really fulfilling because we get the reactions that we do, and for me personally, it's weird to have so many supporters, but it's also really cool to see, oh, thanks, I like my outfit too, or I love that scene too, so it's nice. I like it. And walking around the city, it's funny because I wear my hair like this normally. The only difference between my natural hair and my hair on Gotham is that they have to define some curls for camera purposes. So I'll be walking around the city and people will do double takes like, and then they leave or they do stuff like that. And so it's nice to have interactions like, not the double takes and the walkaways, but
right.
it's nice to just see that people are enjoying the show,
And you mentioned about being fulfilled. I know you're very passionate about some animal causes.
Yes.
I'm sure that probably fills up some other
It does.
excitement in your life.
Having a big following definitely helps in charitable causes because you have it's an easier way to let people know. I recently did a campaign for North Shore Animal League, and so it was great that I could post a picture on social media and of my shirt that my team I designed, and then just say what it was, and then to have people be like, oh, I want to buy that. It's like, thank you, and so it having a support base like that definitely makes making good changes in the world easier.
It's very cool. So what do you do for fun on your free time?
Ooh, well, work for me is fun, so I consider that fun time. I work out. If I have a long break, like I did over the holidays, I had about a month off, which was killer to me because I love staying busy, and I felt like I wasn't staying busy. I was just eating and eating and eating. But I love being with family and cooking and having laughs and all that cheesy stuff, I think family, you literally wouldn't be born into this world if you didn't have a family, or at least two people who made you. So I think family is very important.
That's very cool. Well, you're incredibly talented. You're incredibly poised for someone so young, and it's been an absolute pleasure interviewing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.